Aries, born the beginning of this month. I pulled out a lot of cards. Well, they popped out when I shuffled. So let me just arrange them. Okay. Five of Wands, the Fool, Knight of Wands, and I think, yeah, these two. Ace of Wands, the Hangman in the reverse position, um, the Eight of Wands, the Strength card, and the Emperor. How appropriate. Okay. I'm actually going to pull out one more. One or two. Let's see. Okay, so let's see what this Hangman situation is all about. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the first thing is the Hangman in the reverse position. It does indicate time for action, okay? Time to take initiative and to go forge ahead with plans. What I do feel though is from the beginning of this month, you're going to be in a situation in which you're defending your beliefs, you're disputing with other people, and you're trying to like get others to come to your point of view, and you're going to not heed the advice of other people. So that is coming in very, very strongly at the beginning of the month. And I would advise you to like really understand where the other person is coming from, because I do feel like a very restless energy from you where you might be heading in the wrong direction. So be careful with how this energy plays out, because I do sense like a very combative, not from this card, but mainly from this card, and this is you at the first half of the month, so which is, you know, the first and second weeks that we're dealing with here from the first row. And I do sense a very like a very stubborn and a very combative energy. So be very careful about this situation in which you're fighting with other people just because you're being stubborn, rather than fighting to get at the truth, or fighting. I wouldn't even say it's like a physical altercation, although it can be. But what I do sense is like standing up for your beliefs, and like arguing with people who might have different viewpoints. Okay, I would advise you very, very strongly to to like look to the expert, and especially if those that are older than you, they actually have a lot of wisdom to offer you, but you're being very stubborn and you're not seeing the wisdom in the truth and the reality of the situation. So you're fighting a losing battle, basically, mainly because the way the cards are playing out, especially for the first and second weeks. But again, this is also very mundane energy, so I wouldn't say that it's going to permeate through the rest of this month. But I would definitely ask you to slow down a little bit and take heed their advice, because they do have very good insights that will help you. But you're not like you're not able to absorb a lot of what they have to offer, mainly because you're choosing not to, okay? With the Fool here, I do sense that you are trying to implement new projects, okay? You're going to go forward with it. The only thing I would say is that you do have divine intervention here. So this is also your card. So the time to do it is going to be like, let me see here. It's going to be in the end of this month as well, mainly because the first 2 weeks are very destabilizing and you have like too many actors involved. The second part of the month has a very stable energy, especially with the Strength card. So I do feel that you're going to be able to have a better perspective, and you're able to see the bigger picture in this situation, okay? So I might be downplaying this argument coming in the beginning of the month, but what I feel is that it's an ongoing thing. It has been like it's like a little skirmish, a little war that has been waging for quite some time, and you're tired of dealing with it, so you're able to walk away. The other person might be provoking you, and they might feel like you're going to get sucked back in, but you are choosing to walk away as well. And yeah, I feel like very strongly other people are like arguing on technicalities, okay? And they're trying to like get you sucked in, but you're just like, no, I do want to do other things. I don't want to invest my time in this pointless skirmish. So I'm going to go ahead and invest my time where it's worthwhile, which is a great thing to do. So if there's like a new relationship, a new project, or any type of income generating activity that you are thinking about implementing and like going forward with, it would be best left for the second week, okay? Sorry, the second half of the month, which is the third and fourth week. So I feel that is the best time for this to have like staying power. All right, especially like after the 21st when we're in the time of Taurus. So I feel like it can have a very good resolution if it's a problem, or it can have very good like manifestation and staying power if it's a new project or any type of new relationships. At the same time, for those of you who are in stable relationships, I do feel that there are going to be disputes with loved ones, okay? And I would say put your ego aside if this is a person that you're in a relationship with, mainly because the other person, you're going to feel like the other person is attacking you. But what I honestly believe is that if you're in a relationship with an air sign, they demand an explanation from you. So don't give them a half-ass explanation, and especially don't give them like a partial truth, because they're going to cut you down and they're going to say some very hurtful things to you. So be very honest about who it is that you're dealing with, mainly because it's good to be honest, but at the same time this air sign has a very you would think that you have a bad temper, but this air sign is a very good, like, has very keen, sharp perception. And if you're not telling the truth, there is going to be repercussions. And this person, air signs are not good when they're angry. They are very, very volatile and explosive, because I know that with a lot of Aries, you get angry and then you explode and then you get over it. But air signs can hold grudges as well, and then when they're really, really angry, they don't get very, very angry very, very often. But when they do, it can be catastrophic, and it can be like the tower like this, okay? So don't try not to get on their bad side, because I do feel that they want an explanation from you and you've been evasive. So they have no choice but to confront you, and it's not going to look pretty, okay? So if you just reveal the truth, you're going to be fine. That's all the cards are suggesting, okay? Let me see what else is coming in. Okay, so for those of you who are in stable relationship, just keep in mind that there are going to be a little bit of bickering. If not, for most of you, I do feel that it is going to be a confrontation. So be prepared for that, and just be on the upright, mainly because it's going to save you a lot of trouble down the line. And if it's with a loved one, what's the point of, lying and not being honest, okay? But in either way, I feel that you are going to come up on top if it's a project or if you're dealing with another person, as long as you're righteous, okay? For those of you who are getting out there and dating again, I do feel that your energy level is going to be sapped from you, especially the first 2 weeks. But there is definitely somebody in your midst who is sparking your interest. So it could be a Leo person who is very loving, very kind, or it could be like another air sign. And I would say this. For a lot of you, though, if you're single and dating, you might meet an air sign the first 2 weeks who might prove to be a little too much for you. Just a little too much, mainly because this person is a little bit it's very blunt, and you like bluntness, but at the same time, like the attraction might be a little too jarring. It's not a very smooth, stable type of attraction, so it might be a little too much for you. So the second 2 weeks, though, I feel that you might come across a Leo, a very, very good person. But either way, honesty goes a long way, okay? But the Leo seems like a very stabilizing, force or influence in your life. And this person can actually like handle your quirks with a little more compassion than the air sign. So I feel that is a better energy and a better person for longevity for you. Let me see here. Okay, so going ahead with this project, what I do feel is you're going to have to take some time off and really take going ahead with this project or this new endeavor that you're thinking about implementing. Towards like the second 2 weeks, you're going to have to really go back and revamp it or take into account other people's advice before you're able to go forward with this, okay? So take some time off, stop, and go back and review before you can implement it, because I do feel that if it is not implemented correctly, you're going to have this situation in which the foundation of it gets unraveled. So there is what I say is you're going to face like this universal block, which is to your benefit actually, to force you to go back and review a lot of the things that are happening so that you can implement it in a way that is you can fortify the foundation for this new endeavor so that it can stand the test of time, okay? So either way, there's a bit of a blockage coming in, possibly like the end of this third week, and it's going to force you to re-examine a lot of the things that people have said about what you should do, and at the time you dismiss them, but now it's actually really important to admit to yourself that they are actually right. So yeah, really make an effort to do this, okay? So everything else looks good. I mean, this card is in the reverse position, and if this card is going to come out at all, it is best in this position because it does deal with, especially for those of you who have dealt with an air sign who is very hurtful in the past. The energy is still like residual, so you're going to feel this through this month, mainly because it is your birthday month. So a lot of you might have to like face that other person from your past. But what I feel like it's not going to be problematic. It's only going to be when you can't stand up for yourself, okay, and when you can't be honest about the truth. So you have a lot of divine intervention here. You have these two very strong cards, which indicates to me that you have to hold your own. You have to maintain your domain. You have to resurrect your wall and to like be firm in your boundaries with this person, because this person has a penchant for over extending themselves and for like encroaching upon people's space. So you have to really be careful about that. But I do feel that this person is very upsetting, and everyone is very like upsetting to you. Every time they come back, they try to like chip away at your self-esteem, at the life that you've built for yourself and have established for yourself. So it is very important for you to be very firm about who you are and what you're doing, because they like erode your self-esteem, and it is very important for you to stand up for yourself and be honest, okay? You don't have to tell them off if you don't. I feel like they're trying to get a rise out of you, like he or she is trying to get a rise out of you. He or she is like trying to engage you in a conflict, and the one thing that is standing between you and that air sign is this, which is you have to claim your territory. You have to stand firm, okay? This is a wand energy. It's a fire energy. So scare them off with a torch. But so what that means is you have to defend yourself, you have to present the truth, and you also have to like keep them at arm's length. And also I'm not going to say it's a preemptive strike, but it is a situation in which you disengage, mainly because it's not a sword energy. So the representation of this in the real world, what I would say is it's kind of like putting a stop, okay? Putting a stop, like putting a block. It's kind of like making sure that they hit a block, like a brick wall, before they even get to you, is what I'm sensing. So you have to put up those walls that to protect your own boundary and your own domain, and so they stop coming back in to chip away your self-esteem more than anything. Okay, so be careful about that. Another really troubling thing is that they are in the upright position and you're showing up in the reverse. So I would say it is definitely a situation in which you both are not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, mainly because you don't really see the true representation of the other person, okay? So out of a sense of like stubbornness and obstinacy, I feel that you are not being very realistic about the way that others try to help you. Okay, so that's one thing I would say be very careful of, especially the first 2 weeks. Mainly because I mentioned the situation in which other people have very good advice, and you're going to realize at the end of this month that they have really good advice and they have like a lot of wisdom that you would be that would be beneficial to you. However, you chose to turn your back on them, and then this person too is trying to help, or they're coming in trying to come to your rescue, and then you put up a wall too. Okay, so that's another way that this could potentially play out. For those of you who have been a little too stubborn, a little too stuck in your head, it is it is a good month to reconcile this within yourself, so that you become a little more, I guess, emotionally grounded. Because I do feel that either way, like the energies that we're dealing with and the people that you're dealing with, they're going to play out differently depending on the types of Aries that you are, like if your level of evolvement. So you know who this person will be, and you know the best way to protect yourself, and it is mainly about self-preservation and about establishing rules and guidelines and establishing boundaries, okay, more than anything. So even if they mean well, if they have boundary issues, you can still protect yourself and claim your domain, and like don't let them chip away at your self-esteem more than anything. So you know either way, depending on what's going to teach you to be patient and to be patient, and also to be very strong, like to be firm about what it is that you want and you want to protect, and to I guess come into your own sense of strength. Okay, you're going to realize that you're a lot stronger than you think and that you give yourself credit for. And in the process of defending yourself about this one very significant relationship that you've had, and troubles were brewing, like for have been brewing for a long time. Okay, you're going to stand up for yourself, and you're going to realize how strong you are and how resilient you are, and how this person has been like very detrimental to your self-esteem, and you're going to regain yourself. Okay, so overall it looks very positive. So I do wish you, the fortified strength to get through this month, mainly because it is going to require a lot of resilience to navigate the energies presented. But you have a lot of help, you have a lot of outsider help. So be receptive to new ideas, especially if they're different from yours. So don't shrug them off. Give it some time. Really, sleep on it if you have to. But I do feel that in general, the people around you are very well-meaning. They might not come across as that, but they are very well-meaning, and they do want to help you. Okay, in the most abrasive way, they do want to help you. So take it with a grain of salt, and also just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when interacting with others, but at the same time, protect yourself from people who no longer serve you and might be more of a nuisance in your life than anything. Okay, so I will be back next week for the weekly tarot reading, and I would